Hello. In this week's episode of Know Your Trainer, we're going to be touching on a slightly emotional topic, really. We're going to be looking at the loss of a dog in a multi-dog household. I do see lots of people asking for help on this subject, and I thought it might be helpful to do a little video on it. Obviously, there's no one way to deal with such a thing because every household's different. Every personality type of the person is different, but also some dogs are more sensitive than others. So really it's about finding a way to get through this in a way that suits you, your dog and your household. But what I'm going to try and share today are some helpful tips for things that you can do, but also behaviours to look out for. I hope you find it helpful. My current situation is that I have squiggling beside me right now my 13-month-old working line collie Aria, and 4 weeks ago today we lost Lennox the lurcher. He would have been 17 in October, and so he had a really good long life and we had many years of fun with him. Now in this video I'm going to talk a bit about personal experience, but I also want to give you some tips as to what you might see in your existing dog and how you can help guide them through it. So we did have, obviously because of Lenny's age, we did have some warning as to what was going to happen. So from the day I got Aria, I used to spend a lot of time independently. Aria spent a lot of time one-to-one with me, or sometimes in the house on her own, which we gradually built up, because actually, and this is helpful for any multi-dog household, multi-household dogs can become quite reliant on each other, and they can, sorry, Aria's running around like nuts, they can sometimes find it quite tricky when the other one's not there. So I build that into my home alone training with thank you for lightening the mood, Aria. So teaching them that it's okay to be on their own is really good. Aside from this, when we said goodbye, I did allow Aria to say goodbye to Lenny. Now that's very much personal choice. It really depends on who you are as a person as well, because if you've got a sensitive dog like Aria is, and you're understandably really upset, maybe that's not the best thing to do. But if you're able to keep your focus a bit and explain to the dog what's happening, then that can be helpful. But it really is, there's no right and wrong for this. You have to do what's right in your household. What else did we do? I made sure that, so behaviours I saw in Aria following that, the lead up to it that day, she was quite edgy. She is quite a sensitive kind anyway. She was quite edgy and very sharp in her behaviour. By that I mean she was a bit spooky. She was jumping out of her own skin a bit. She was barking a little bit more than usual, and she went off her food. Now this behaviour did actually go on for a little while. When I returned home that day, I noticed that she was quite pacey. She was pacing up and down and looking at where Lenny's bed was. Now, helpful hint here for me, I left Lenny's bed in there for a good week. I didn't want to change everything round straight away because I suppose me and her were both adapting to the fact that he wasn't there anymore. So I left that there for about a week with his toys and all of that sort of thing. And I didn't move everything around because I think there's a lot of adjustment goes in place already, and if you start moving things around a bit, sorry, she's squiggling behind me, then that can be a bit unsettling for your other dog. Although equally you have to do what's best for you as well, because giving yourself a bit of a break is really important. You're going to be grieving, and that process is going to go up and down, but also your dog is. Now I would say 4 weeks in, Aria's starting to settle down. Other things that I've used to help her along the way have been plug-ins. So I used a Pet Remedy one, but the Adaptil one's equally good. And this was quite an important factor. Aria and I have quite a good training routine. We love training, obviously, because I'm a trainer and she's a working dog. We really enjoy our training, but I didn't stop that altogether because I think she would have missed that. But what I did was I made it everything very light, very easy, and very fun. I didn't tackle any of the things that were hard work to either of us because I just think we would have been at loggerheads. It's not a great time to train when you're feeling a bit off, and if your dog's feeling a bit off too, I think that can be a little bit of a recipe for disaster. So, and don't give yourself a hard time about that. It's all right to have some time off. Your dog's not going to forget everything it's learned. In fact, sometimes they can come back even better because of latent learning. So, yeah, I made things a little bit easier for her that way. I also made sure we did lots of fun things, so we did lots of visiting. She had some friends over to play in the fields. She's been out and about a bit more. But yes, I have noticed that she has changed her behaviour now since Lenny's gone. She is more grown up, and I've seen this pattern with other dogs that I've had. I know when Shona went, Miko suddenly became this grown up, sensible dog, which she had never been before. I think she was about 6 when Shona passed. So, yeah, you may see lots of behaviour changes, and you may not notice them because you may be too upset yourself. But I think what I'm trying to say is, be understanding of yourself, be understanding of your dog, and take some steps to take it a bit easier because it's hard. If you wanted more information on this, I'm happy to discuss it via email. You can find our pages at the end. But yeah, preparing for it if you get the chance is great. If you don't get the chance, you just have to deal with what's happening at the time. But it's a very personal subject, and it's not for me to dictate what's right. All I can do is share things that have been helpful to us. I'm just happy that we're both feeling a lot more like our usual selves now. Yeah, I think she's adjusted to being an only dog all right at the moment. I'm sure that won't last forever, but for now we're going to tick on as we are. All right, I hope that's been helpful. Thank you.